Finding meaning is what prevents pain from becoming suffering. World over, every second 5 babies are born. But I've never ever met a mom saying that it was suffering, childbirth was suffering. There was pain and fatigue and sleepless nights and anxiety, but not suffering because there is the meaning of the beautiful baby. But I've never met a patient in the ER passing his kidney stone saying, I love this pain, let it come, because there was no meaning behind it. So what happens is when you find meaning, it prevents pain from becoming suffering. And this meaning can be instinctive or inspired. Sometimes you can even have a silly way of finding meaning just to comfort yourself. So I'll tell you, in the year 2000, it was, I think, that was a big stock market crash, and I, like many other citizens, I lost most of my investments, and I was hurt. I needed that money, and I remember I was doing a workout, and I see the drop in my savings, and I said, okay, there's one car gone, and oh, that's the second car gone, and that's it. So how do I recover from it? What do I tell my wife? And so I said, you know what? Had I not lost this money, I would have bought a flashy car and crashed and died. And actually, I really felt better. It was silly. It didn't quite make sense, but there was no other way for me to recover from that tangible loss. Through some of the most difficult situations, if you can find meaning, you'll be able to find a path towards light. Remember that the more difficult the situation, the deeper the hurt, the more time it will take to find meaning. Milk spilled on the dining table, or a minor loss, a cracked pipe or something like that. You can find meaning for that relatively quickly, or you can recover quickly. But for some of the more egregious hurts, serious diagnosis and accidents and bad relationship issues, it takes a lot of time for you to find meaning. In that situation, just pick the load of the next hour or the next day and live your life one day at a time until that meaning presents itself. One of the best ways to find meaning is to pick your North Star. What is it that I really care about? What is one thing that I really, really care about, that I want to integrate in all aspects of my life? And I thought about it maybe about a decade ago. And to me, it was kids. I think our evolutionary responsibility is to create and deliver a better world to our planet's children. So for me, it has become very simple. Anytime I have a conflict, go this way or that way, I ask myself, which of my thought, word, or action will make the world a better place for these little kids? Not just my kids, but my loved ones' kids and my friends' kids, my neighbors' kids, all kids on the planet, because all children are our children. We collectively share all the planet's kids. I mean, your child will connect with my child at some point in life. They will influence each other. And if your child is doing better, I firmly believe it'll help my kids. And same applies to you too. So whenever in doubt, think about your North Star. What is it that I care about the most? And take care of that. There's going to be multiple conflicting minor preferences, but you have to be very clear what is my first and most important priority. And if you do that, you will have great clarity, and of course you will save a lot of energy from distractions. So let's say you have identified your North Star. And so the key is to align your short-term actions with that long-term meaning. If your short-term actions are, to the side, while that is where your long-term meaning is, then life is going to be difficult. Day-to-day preferences, minor preferences, the more you can turn them around and align those with your long-term meaning, the better off you will be. Your hobbies, the kind of work you do, the kind of people you connect with, even the kind of food you eat. Since the time I've become a parent, I have actually invested more in self-care because I just value myself more. So I make healthier choices. I don't take unnecessary, sometimes insane, risky decisions or risky activities. A very good idea to save your time is to declutter your life because most of us have a lot of clutter. So let's do this very simple exercise where this is a 2x2 table, and we have important and controllable problems. Yes, no, yes, no. So there are in this box, northwest box, this is important and controllable. So here you can put things like your health and your relationships and your financial situation, your spirituality, and whatever else is relevant for you. You invest all your time because this is what is most meaningful. This is, I didn't put work there. This is all that is the most meaningful that you want to take care of. There are some situations that are controllable but not important. Your spouse loads dishwasher like garbage can, while they've got everything else that is wonderful about them. So the question to ask here is, what do I do? What is the cost? If the cost is much more than the benefit, you've got to let it go. See, that's the key. Sometimes we overreact to situations that are controllable but not important, and that usurps our energy from the northwest quadrant. Third quadrant is what is important but not controllable. This is all your past. You have to learn from it, find meaning in it, and then accept it. And finally, you've got, what is not important and not controllable, you have got to let it go. Why? Because you've got finite time. I have maybe 9,000-10,000 days left on the planet. So when I'm aware of that, when I'm aware that this is the day that I've got, I have to make the most of this day, then I do not waste my time with these three quadrants, and I expand this northwest quadrant, what is important and what is controllable. That is where my meaning is. Right? So declutter your life. My suggestion for you is to take a pen and paper and make a list. Go through this practice and pick out, after you've done this practice, pick out one thing that you will do more of and one thing that you will do less of. Finding this meaning will help you engage with what is most important, and you will not regret doing that when you are 80 years old and looking back at your life.